All right, here we go. I can do this. Hey, it's your old pal Slim, and this is 70mm, a podcast for film fans just like you. With me, as always, is my close friend and artist, Danny Haas.
Hello.
And our close friend and movie insider, Per Alexis.
And you thought your HR department was bad.
Every episode is connected to a theme for that month, and this time it's New-vember, new movies were just new to us, and we're continuing things this week with The Killer from The Finch, David Fincher, on Netflix. And you can use the chapters in your podcast app to skip right to that discussion. I want to call out Proto's little UFOs that he leaves for interns on Patreon. What are they? Uncut film opinions? Unedited film opinions?
I think so. Unfinished.
Yeah, you record like an audio memo of you talking about a movie after you're done watching it, and you did one for The Killer. 2 lines stuck out for me in this recording. One of which was you laughing at yourself saying, "Kiss me on the mouth, Michael." And then 2, maybe the dumbest thing I've ever heard, shout out to Ace Hardware Nation. Ace Niche. Big night for Smiths fans tonight on the show. You a Smiths fan, Proto? The Smiths?
You look like one.
I want to say I'm a fan. I've tried to get into the Smiths, but it never really stuck for me. Whenever I hear their songs, I enjoy it.
Tonight. What about you, Danny?
No.
No?
Never.
I remember in high school, but actually no, it was probably grade school. My brother and I had a radio in our room. And I guess I got it when he left that room. And I remember hearing How Soon Is Now on the radio when I was a kid. My life changed.
Really?
Maybe one of the coolest songs I'd ever heard at that point. Oh, yeah. Wow, wow. Remember that one?
Yeah.
That part?
That one.
Oh, my God.
I don't know them by name, but I know them by the wow wow.
So I looked on Spotify. I was like, what's the most popular The Smiths song? And it's the song that was playing in your UFO, Pro. There is a light that never goes out. The song playing in the credits.
Yeah.
And the How Soon Is Now is like half. It's like only 200 million plays on Spotify. Huh. What are people doing?
That's a lot of plays.
It's the youth of America, I guess. Just a reminder, bottom of the hour, we'll be getting into The Killer from The Finch. And then next week, we already know what we're doing next week. It's Raging Bull. Bobby De Niro.
Brand new.
There's whispers that someone has purchased a 4K disc. Is that confirmed? Can we confirm that on the show that someone has purchased a 4K disc? Speak now or forever hold your peace.
I think you're the only one that hasn't. So.
Oh, really? Jeez,
Yes.
I need to get on that.
Who hasn't purchased it?
Right. Who has it? That's
Okay.
an easier question.
I actually do need to go to Best Buy because I want to try on those.
It's not in Best Buy.
Ugh. Did they already get rid of all the
Criterion,
movies? Oh, it's Criterion?
50% off, baby.
It's still
right now.
50% off at Barnes & Noble.
Barnes & Noble? Okay. All right.
Also,
What is
it's the
50%
same-
off? It's still like $30 probably, though.
It's also the same
$25.
price all year round on Amazon. It's always 50% off there, but everyone gets
When are
so
people going
happy
to wake
about
up to
Barnes
these
& Noble.
Criterion Barnes & Noble sales?
Anyway,
Let's just change it up. Let's say hello to some new patrons right away.
change it.
Revan, Landon, Elizabeth, Kimberlyn, and Becky joined this week. Got access to the VHS Village Discord, discounts on Danny's Beautiful Prince. And you should join them as well. You can listen live. You get access to uncut episodes, patron-only episodes. Art in chat, thank you. 50% off, $69.99. That's how they get you. That's how they freaking get you. Danny, did you watch any movies this week?
No. Next.
All right, next up. Well, I should give Danny props. You did the art for the now past Letterboxd annual sale.
The sale's over?
Now, when this episode comes out, it'll be over. People missed the boat.
Goodness.
Yeah.
Missed the boat. Thank you. Loved working on it.
Beautiful.
It's always nice when you have a good leading, guiding the creative process. You know,
Interesting.
makes the process easy.
Wow. He's not talking about me, folks. He's talking about
Definitely not.
podcast godfather Matt Buchanan.
Not
Are you watching like TV shows now? What are you up
this
to over
week-
there?
Okay, listen, this week it's been since the beginning of the school year, my daughter has been in theater, and this week was 2 of her plays, 2 nights of the same play. She was in The Wizard of Oz. So we saw The Wizard of Oz play Tuesday night. We saw it again tonight. So our week has been busy on top of that.
Mm-hmm.
And she was a munchkin, and she was awesome.
Wow.
And I love that. I love it. It was fun. I am watching. I finished all 3. I binged all 3 seasons of For All Mankind, and I've watched the newest one that just came out last Friday, I believe. So I think they're now week to week as the new season rolls out, the season 4. And I've fallen in love with the show. So yeah, that's what I've been kind of binging outside of movies. But now I have to wait 1 episode a week like a pleb.
Oh my God.
I can't do that. There's no
Time-
going back. When you
time moving
binge
in slow
something and then
motion.
you find out that you got to go week to week.
It's going hard on those 3 seasons, and then I thought the 4th was going to drop, and that's 1 ep. I will say, this is not
Say
about
it.
For All Mankind.
Let it
Watching the 2 plays of Wizard of Oz, I'm like, when are we going to do that?
What if?
What?
I got the itch to watch. I don't think I've ever sat down as an adult to watch Wizard of Oz.
Mm.
So I don't really have an opinion on it outside of seeing the Cursed Films, or was it Cursed Films that did it? Yeah.
They did that goofy episode with our boy.
Turkington.
Is there a 4K of Wizard of Oz?
Yeah.
There's got to be.
Yeah, there definitely is. There's one for the
Oh.
80th anniversary.
It's $10 at Best Buy right now.
There you go, Slim.
I'm going back. I can try out my Meta Ray-Bans. That's the whole reason I want to go to Best Buy.
But I don't know where we would fit it in with a month. Maybe like
80th anniversary month.
80th month. I thought we'd maybe do like an old Hollywood month, which would be fun.
Oh.
We could do a
RKO
musicals month. Judy Garland month.
That would be crazy.
Let's put this in the crock pot and let it stew.
What's
We're gonna
what's
figure
the
this
term
out.
you hate when people are dressed like animals? Proto or animal-like people?
Oh, subhuman.
Yeah, the lion might get you.
Oh my
true.
God. Wizard of Oz 4K Ultra HD. Does anybody have the current review on Blu-ray.com? Let us know how this transfer is. This poster is abominable on
I
this
don't even.
box art.
I will say the steel book that's like $200 on eBay has a gorgeous image on it.
200? What the heck is in the box?
It was just like an 80th anniversary steel book or something. That one is gorgeous. It has Judy laying in the fields covered in asbestos.
A free baggie of asbestos in every box set. Or the like chemical that they sprayed onto the original Tin Man that almost killed him.
Yeah.
A little baggie of that too.
Anyway,
Okay.
when are we doing Wizard of Oz?
That's a great question. We gotta.
How
figure
can I
it out.
fit Wizard of Oz and Triple X into the same month?
Yeah, what were you talking about? Triple X? Was that in live chat earlier? Your pre-show?
Yeah, we were talking in the paranormal channel, and I'd shared a GIF from Triple X, and I forgot how much I lived for that movie. Like I loved that movie so much. The soundtrack is a banger.
Gavin Rosdale.
Gavin Rosdale.
Song- that was like the
yes,
song of the
dude.
decade when I heard that
God. See, I knew I could count on you.
Point
I
of
knew.
no return. See how the buildings burn, light up the night. Such a pretty sight. Thrilling, keeps me in the game.
song. Yeah. I thought like Triple X was going to be my James Bond when that movie came out.
Well, okay, we have to do this movie. We have to.
Proto, have you seen
Diesel
Triple
looks
X with Vin
incredible.
Diesel and Samuel L. Jackson?
Yeah. I remember when that came out. I remember thinking it was going to be like a porno, but it was very mild.
Regal Cinemas busting out the porno movies
That's what
finally.
I had to. So in live chat, we were talking. Casey was a senior in high school, and this movie was coming out. So I went over to her house to pick her up to go see this movie. Her father was there, and when she was still upstairs when I got there. He asked me what movie I was taking his daughter to, and I said Triple X. And the look he gave me, and then glanced over my shoulder at my now mother-in-law, like, what are we letting our daughter go do right now?
Oh my God. The song Adrenaline from Gavin Rossdale. Gavin Rossdale was like my John Lennon when this movie came out. That song is incredible, folks. Add it to your Spotify tonight. Listen to it.
I'm not even sure I know who Gavin Rossdale is.
You know Bush.
Oh, okay.
He's the lead singer of Bush.
Oh, okay. Love Gavin.
Razor Blade Suitcase.
Breathe out.
Oh, yeah.
You want to talk about a banger of an album. I still listen to that
Banger
sometimes.
of an album.
Yeah.
You kidding me?
Still slaps.
There was a period where I called Glycerine my favorite song ever.
Thank you.
Oh my God.
I knew I could count on you guys. God.
Big Friday for everyone listening live, firing up Bush and Gavin Rossdale. Every week we give out a free year of Letterboxd Patron. To enter, all you have to do is tag your reviews for the show 70mm pod. I don't check any other tag. If you put 70 dash, I'm not even looking for it.
Oh,
I'm not going
God.
to do that. I'm sorry. Get access to your favorite streaming services, and, make it easier for you to find movies, stats at the end of the year, backdrop on your profile. No ads. That's the main thing that I love. I'm Just Isaac left a review for The Killer. The rudest thing that David Fincher has ever done to me on a personal level is convince me to do a deep dive into the Smiths discography.
Goodness.
A lot of Smiths talk in this movie.
Glycerine.
Can we do a cut of The Killer with Bush soundtrack instead of the Smiths?
My stars would go up. I'll tell you that right now.
Danny's dropping seeds all week on a potential rating, but it could be like one of those Danny Swerve ratings.
Yeah.
The old
We've seen him
Swerve
do it.
job.
Yeah, we've
Danny
seen him do it
Sidewinder.
before. Proto, did you watch any movies this week?
I did. I got to go to the theater, actually.
Excuse me.
What
And
the?
I delved into Philadelphia, got on the train, got on the Patco, crossed the bridge, and went to the Bourse Theater in Old City, Philadelphia, to see Poor Things.
Oh my gosh.
Had to put the little press hat on your head? You were a member of press going to the screening. Is that true?
I did. Yeah, this was a screener. This was a press screener. Everyone relax. Okay,
His
relax.
grin as he said
He's
that.
so
Oh
happy.
my God.
He's so happy right
This is a
now.
big moment. Big moment.
Big moment. But I gotta say, I don't get to the theater much, but this was one of the more rowdy crowds
Oh, interesting.
Mhm.
here. And I'm looking at these people. I'm like, this doesn't look like press to me. These don't look like critics. Who are these people in here? I worked really hard to get into
Riffraff.
this room. What was this? It was definitely riffraff. Definite riffraff.
Was this
I almost-
WMMR presents Poor Things screening?
Yeah,
They're doing like a
I
giveaway.
almost went and talked to the attendant who was standing in the row at the back of the aisle. But,
Snapping your fingers.
but yeah, Poor Things is the newest picture from director Yorgos Lanthimos, who did he did The Lobster, Killing of the
banger.
Sacred Deer,
Banger.
which I think we've all watched
Yeah.
and loved. He did The
That's hard.
Favorite with Olivia Colman.
Banger.
So this is his newest movie. This is a pretty weird movie, I gotta say. The premise, I don't want to give anything away, but Emma Stone basically is an adult woman who is kind of like coming into consciousness for the first time. So she has to learn everything like a child, but she's an adult. And that's like how the movie starts. So Emma Stone, she's the lead. It also has Willem Dafoe in it. He looks amazing in this.
Really?
He has like these facial scars that he looks incredible.
Are you considering facial scars?
I'm looking around, asking around. Also stars Mark Ruffalo, who I think was my favorite. No, he's my favorite in this.
Really?
Yeah, this movie it's pretty funny, I'll say, and it has a lot to do with Mark Ruffalo for me. The people in the theater, they were cackling the whole time. There's a lot of like visual gags in this. But Mark Ruffalo plays this like rake character who's in a relationship with Emma Stone. And he's like super funny. But this movie is pretty out there. It's super weird. It's set in like a maybe a late 19th century, like Victorian London, but steampunk themed. It's definitely not like realistic. It takes a lot of liberties in what the world looks like, but it's beautiful. Like it has incredible sets, incredible costumes. But it's also like pretty graphic and like, I would say like vulgar.
Oh, goodness.
There's like a lot of sex in this movie.
Okay.
I didn't know that going into this. So
you were squirming in your seat, surrounded by a rowdy crowd.
Call me a prude. I'll take it, But yeah, I was kind of pulling down my hat at certain points. Like, what did I get myself into?
70mm press hat pulled down.
So I gave it 3 stars. It's a wild one. It's a wild one for sure.
Okay. Wow.
And I think it's getting a full release.
It's like a month from now, isn't it?
Yeah, in December. Yeah.
Big shot. Friggin' big shot.
So
now, was there anyone to introduce the movie? And then were you jealous that you were not the one introducing the movie? Because I know you've talked about this on previous episodes. You think that's your job. That could be your job.
That could be my job. I actually got there a few minutes late, so it had already started. So I'm not sure.
Oh my God!
If anyone.
Oh God!
Yeah, I came in through the door late. I had to get on the train. You know how train time. Like
I don't.
There's no way of knowing when a train is coming into the station.
Yeah.
There's you just got to get there and hope for the best.
An app for that?
But even so,
could be.
But even so, any other movies, Proto, you wanted to talk about?
No, that was pretty much it for me
this
week.
I also, maybe this will be for the uncut episode, but I want to hear about GTA 5. You've been playing Grand Theft Auto 5. It's been a revelation. We've been hearing Proto's almost live reactions to playing it.
Mm-hmm.
Love to get it. We can get into that in the uncut. That's fine.
Yeah. How about you, Slim? What did you watch?
What did I watch? I watched The Naked Guns.
Okay.
After our Priscilla recording, I had to go back. As I mentioned last week, I had no idea that the lead actress in those movies was Priscilla Presley. Just fantastic in those movies. I think this might have been the first time that I watched the first Police Squad uncut, or like the original theatrical version. I had sent a DM to Dale because I was like posting some videos. But there's a scene that I had never seen before where Leslie is like hanging on to a statue, and there's like almost like, or he's not hanging on the side of a building, so there's like gargoyles or statues on the other side. And he's like, feeling around, trying to climb. And then his hands move over, and there's like one of the statues just has like the giant wang. And he like slips and falls, and he's like motioning his hands up and his mouth toward it. It's just like the most R-rated thing I've ever seen Leslie Nielsen do. So that was a scene that I had definitely never seen as a kid. That's not getting played on USA or whatever channel I used to watch this on. So I had a lot of fun going through those movies. And then for Letterboxd show prep, we're having a guest on, and one of his picks is Stop Making Sense for his 4 faves. I had to sit down and watch this movie. Famous theatrical presentation of a Smiths concert.
Wow.
Starring Cillian Murphy as the lead singer of the Smiths, Morrissey.
Is this I don't even know who this band actually is.
The veins out of the forehead of people listening right now.
So mad at us.
Stop it!
I couldn't tell you the name of this actual band to save my life right now.
The Talking Heads.
Oh, yes. Thank you.
Ever heard of them? So this had like a big, IMAX 4K restoration. You see people in theaters. There's like, 50-year-old whites dancing in the stands seeing the Stop Making Sense concert. Everyone loved it. It's like 4.7 on Letterboxd. It's insane. People are having religious experiences seeing this thing. So I finally sat down to watch it. And if you want to hear my thoughts on it, you'll have to listen to that Letterboxd show episode. It'll be out, in a week or so. So that's all I have to say about that. It's November, episode 197. I also want to talk about ChatGPT in the uncut. And how I built a 70mm archivist bot.
Yeah, we'll talk in the uncut.
God, there's a lot to talk about, folks, in the uncut. Mm-hmm. David Fincher, Netflix. The Killer. Proto, what's this movie about?
After the killer fails to do his one job, his employer performs quality assurance and hires other assassins to terminate his employment. Unfortunately, those assassins bring the news when he is not home and leave the message with a friend. Finding this rather unprofessional, the killer visits his former employer to air his grievances. After, he visits both of the assassins that visited his home and puts a bow on those loose ends. Finally, he visits his client and has an exit interview to end their relationship.
Oh.
The Killer.
That's what happened?
Oh. I'm looking at the Fincher filmography.
Yeah.
We recently had a Zodiac episode. Fantastic conversation at the time of my life. I really want to rewatch Panic Room.
Yeah, same.
You know?
It's a time.
God. I cooled on the Fincher game after Mank. You know, we don't have to spend too much time on Mank.
Love Mank.
What was your rating for Mank? Do you remember offhand?
4 stars, baby.
4 stars.
My
Danny?
review for Mank? Oh my God.
Did it go viral?
Viral. Are you kidding me? 11 likes? Yeah.
That is viral, to be honest. Oh God, look at this. Oh my God, this is a long. When was the last time you wrote a review this long?
It's like this has to be over 500 words.
And this was pre-Chat GPT, so we know it's real.
If you had any idea what AI was capable of in 2023, you would pass out. What'd you think about Mank, Danny?
Oh, I didn't see it.
Okay.
No.
What's your favorite Fincher film currently? If you had to put a list together, fave Finch.
I mean, 7. I feel like
Okay.
7 felt like a cultural shift in movie watching for me, I think. That was a big one. I can't think of the others. I mean, I want to talk
Game?
about
You love-
Fight Club, but I
you
feel
like
like
The Game,
eye rolls when you say
right?
Fight Club. Loved The Game. Just saw that recently for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Gone Girl was amazing. Visceral.
Right.
I guess Social Network was. I saw that once. It's good. I like it.
Oh my
But I think
God.
7 for me is like it for Fincher. That's like
Uh-huh.
that's like my favorite Fincher.
I forgot about the Social Network. God, that thing
Most try to.
was hot for a
Yeah.
long time.
Atticus.
Yeah.
A movie. I mean, even looking
Trent.
back, a movie about David Zuckerberg. A movie about Mark Zuckerberg. Right? It just feels so weird looking back, but it was a pretty good movie. People liked it.
The vinyl.
Did I ask Proto what your favorite Finch is?
I'm looking now, and people aren't going to like this, but when I went on my alien journey,
Thank you.
I love Alien 3.
Thank you.
So I would say Alien 3 of these, but it's
That's-
hard. I haven't revisited some of his others in a while. Like I don't know,
Finchtober.
when I've watched Fight Club last or The Game. I remember liking Benjamin Button. So
Who doesn't?
I have not seen Benjamin Button. I remember my Alien 3 review, I wrote something about how I thought it had the worst CGI I'd ever seen in a movie. And it was like, idiot me not realizing it was like 1992 and it wasn't even CGI. It was just like, I didn't like the practical effects. I think someone roasted me about that. But I left that line in my review, I think.
Idiot.
So we'll go around the room. We usually try to jot down 3 things in our, viewing of the movie. We'll go through those lists and then we'll give our final Letterboxd rating. I just, this is based on a comic book.
Mm-hmm.
We read past tense. I don't know. We read comic books for a very long time. I remember reading this comic book a long time ago. It's originally in French. Bande dessinée, they say
Excuse
in France. But let's start with our dear old friend Prot. What's top of your list for this viewing?
I'd like to start with Michael Fassbender,
Mhm.
if we could.
And,
Please.
I love Michael Fassbender.
wow.
Interesting.
I'll watch him in anything. I think he's gorgeous just to look at. He's just got
got
a
a great
face.
body.
He's got a great body. He's got a great face. He's got a great stare, his gaze,
Posture.
his delivery. I just love everything about him. And I don't even know if he's like, to me, it's kind of hard to rate him as an actor. Like, I don't know how good he is. And when I did the UFO, I kind of talked about this. Like, I'm not really sure where I would rate him in terms of like quality of an actor. But I just really enjoy watching him. Like, I would watch him watch paint dry.
When you were speaking right there, you're like, I don't know how I would rate him. I thought you were going to say, I don't know how to rate his body if I'm comparing. Yeah, I think, did that start when you were in your alien journey? Because I remember when you were watching Prometheus and
David.
Covenant, you were pretty, I feel like you were pretty taken aback by his role as dual robots.
Oh, yeah. His role as David in both Prometheus and Alien Covenant is one of my favorite characters in like sci-fi stories. I just love the android. I love his motives and like what he's attempting to do in those movies. And I think let's face it, he looks like an android. He looks like he was made, someone designed Michael Fassbender. So
He looks AI designed.
So yeah, I loved him in this. I think his performance is great. I know some people were saying like
Recast him.
Yeah, recast him. But I say get those thoughts out of my face.
Yeah, every time we talk about Alien, I get like annoyed that we don't have an Alien like Max series. You know, like an expensive Game of Thrones, but it's Aliens or the Alien Universe or something. You know.
Goodness.
Can Apple put some money behind this? We got For All Mankind. We can't have Alien Universe.
We got what was that? Raised by Wolves. Was that show?
Don't talk to me about that.
Remember that?
God, we were so horny for Raised by Wolves season 1, and then we can't get into it. It's too painful.
Talk about that finale.
It's too painful to get excited by a modern television show in this day and age. I think I like Fassbender. I don't have any strong opinions. I mean, he's in a lot of movies. I guess Inglourious Basterds was probably the first thing I saw him in. I don't know if that was his first role, maybe his first breakout role. But he's in a lot of X-Men movies. I mean, he's in Assassin's Creed. So I mean, like, I think in your UFO, you made a mention about him or his acting. He's not like an actor, right? Like he's not popping up in highly rated other movies that would show his range. But, you know, he's acceptable. Danny?
Yeah, I love Michael, but not in this. I think he's incredibly dull in this movie. I don't know what it is, but I don't think it's his fault, honestly, in this film. I think he probably did.
Is it the material?
Yeah, I think so. I think he did the best he could with what he was given for this film, I think. Because I do like Michael a lot. And I agree his alien work is amazing. But I just didn't enjoy the film enough to enjoy him in it, I think. So I was kind of just annoyed at his performance. And it was fine. I don't even know if recasting him is like worth it.
Michael Cera.
Sure.
Yes.
In The Killer.
Sure.
Okay,
I mean, that I'm for that.
Did I read? Matt just posted a link to The Road to Le Mans. Was he an actual professional race car driver for a few years? Did I read that somewhere? Is that why he hasn't done a movie? Can anyone confirm in chat? Still is.
Wow.
Matt says. Okay. No big deal, I guess. That might lead into my first point for the movie was, you know, it starts out with him in like an abandoned WeWork or whatever, and he's hunting down his next kill.
Consider yourself lucky if our paths never cross. Except luck isn't real, nor is karma, or, sadly, justice. As much as I'd like to pretend these concepts exist, they just don't. One is born, lives their life, and eventually, one dies. In the meantime, do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. To quote someone. Can't remember who.
which I think I remember being kind of like a vivid part of the comic book. This guy just like sitting around, kind of bored, waiting for this guy to show up in the house or the loft. And it's just an insight into how boring that is. And he even mentions it in the voiceover. And that scene's like, I don't know, maybe 20, 25 minutes. You see him kind of like walking around town, getting food, doing yoga, no-show sock yoga. And I really would have loved that entire sequence with no voiceover.
Thank you.
Like, I felt kind of bothered by the voiceover to start the movie.
Yes.
And it was also like it was like cutting in with the Smiths, where he would say something and then the music would like jump back up. But then when he needed to say something else, the music like got real quiet. And I was like, is this my TV? Is there some kind of LG sound setting that I need to turn off? It's like using AI to boost things. It was kind of really annoying. And maybe this is like a comment on the movie, but like you need the voiceover to kind of see how he doesn't even listen to himself. I don't know. There's so many scenes in this where I was just like, this would have been a lot better if he wasn't speaking constantly. Did anyone else feel that same way?
I mean, my first note is this narration, inner monologue / voiceover kill me. And then I think I was maybe at the 20-minute mark of the film. I was already put out by that. It was so annoying. I was just, shut up. Like, let me figure the movie out on my own. I don't need my handheld this entire time watching this film. I was so annoyed by everything that was happening in this first half hour. Just
right.
Marcy
brings up a point that I saw in some reviews. I think part of the comedy of the movie is the false narration. And I don't think I really picked up on it until like later in the movie that like, he's kind of like doing totally different than what he's actually saying. But I don't know. Pardo?
I'm usually anti-voiceover, anti-narration in a movie. This didn't bother me as much this time because I think I found the narration compelling. Just what he was saying and describing what he was doing. I think, usually I would want the visuals just to speak for themselves, but this movie it's pretty mundane for most of it, of like what's going on. Like we're watching kind of like the day-to-day of a killer where he's really not doing much other than eating and observing. So it almost seems like without that, it would be even more so like feel pretty empty. So I did enjoy that. And I found I found the writing compelling, and even like the way some of the things were said, interesting enough to the point where I felt like I had to rewind it a couple times to re-listen to actually understand like the point that he was making.
Interesting.
But I do agree about the music. That sequence of the music getting louder and then lower, like it was like when he was peering through the scope, it was like at normal volume. And then when you would see him, it like cut to half volume. That was really jarring. And I'm not really sure I understand why you would do that. And it really took me out of it in those moments.
It was supposed to be the POV. Like when you're at his POV, you technically have the headphones on like he has on. And then when you're looking at him, you're hearing the music come from the headphones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
That's just, whatever.
The Finch. I was thinking like, you see a lot of comparisons to Le Samurai, a movie that I remember enjoying. And that one I feel like is the kind of lack of voiceover. So I wonder if there's, for people like me that maybe didn't like the voiceovers, maybe we're going in with an expectation that we're going to get this kind of artsy French movie starring Fassbender, directed by Fincher. And then when it's like so noisy, it's like an immediate turn off. Like, this isn't what I was expecting.
Mm-hmm.
And also Fassbender's like American no accent voice is just very strange to me. I don't know.
Oh, interesting.
I think, funnily enough, Danny, when you were talking about For All Mankind, what's the lead actor? Joel Kinnaman?
Kinnaman, yeah.
I think he's like Swedish, maybe.
He is, yeah.
I remember when Altered Carbon had come out, and he was the star of that. And the first thing I thought of was like, I can tell he's doing like an American voice, and I can't focus.
He does it
not that bad, but
yeah.
Danny, what's the top of your list?
The top of my list was narration. I think the other thing that bothered me, I think the pacing of the story from after he botches his job and he gets home to either his girlfriend or I didn't know at the time, like, is it a friend, girlfriend, whatever. His reaction to like instantly go after everybody. I didn't understand the motivation because I didn't know who this person was to him. Like, I didn't understand, like, why is he all of a sudden he's out to kill everyone that either had the cleanup job of him botching. But this is all after he's talking through his narration of not having empathy, etc. But he has to have some sort of empathy to have this feeling of revenge of whoever this person was in his life. And I felt no like weight of his actions because there was no substance to like his previous home life. Like, I didn't feel like I cared about why he was doing anything he was doing because I didn't care about who got hurt in his life,
right,
that he was avenging to a degree. So I think everything after that, I'm like, I honestly don't care why he's going after every other person because I don't know why. Like, I was really annoyed by that bit of storytelling.
Yeah, I guess you could say that for you to kind of maybe understand some of his empathy or like suddenly caring, you have to kind of understand that the voiceover narration is off because he's not listening to himself at all. He's not like doing what his training, what he's preaching. I guess that could be the case.
Yeah, I agree with that, Danny. The brother and sister who were living at his house in his hideout, there, even at the end of it, there wasn't really any explanation as to what their relationship was. I mean, I feel like you could have just given one line to give some kind of sense as to their relationship. And because it felt almost like he was just like allowing them to live in his home out of the goodness of his heart. And that was like it. That's like kind of all I could get from it.
Right.
Yeah. So it really didn't help to give you any kind of like connection in that regard, or to care, or to understand his motives of like why, he's choosing to kind of like break every professional rule that he's given himself that he describes at the beginning of the movie, but we're not really sure why. Like the whole basis of the movie for him to like go out of the lines that he's drawn for himself. And I guess you can just assume, I guess he's in love with her. But it would have been nice to kind of have a bit more of that communicated.
Right.
And that's why I kind of jokingly in my snarky review bring up John Wick, is because in the first John Wick, we get such a great, whether you like the whole movie or not, it has a great intro to John Wick's personal life. And even the little bit of just his dog being killed, and that's like not the entire reason why he goes after this revenge. So even like the enough of like John Wick's back life gives any sort of weight to his actions for the rest of the film. There was just nothing in Fassbender's back life that gave me like, okay, I want you to avenge this person. Like I'm with you, Michael. Let's go kill people.
How did his boss know where he lived? Does he have to give out his address? I feel like that would be the last thing I would give. My safe house location. If you ever need me for anything, here's where you can reach me.
Right. He's got 15 different TV show names, but
yes,
here's my address, my home address.
Or if you had a safe house, get a different safe house if you're going to live there with someone that you love. You're a hitman.
A second safe house.
And maybe one that's like surrounded by a moat. That people with sharks in it that you can't allow people to kind of hijack into.
They do call it the hideout in like the chapter. So, and the way the way he describes his life of like all the steps that he takes to lose people, he cleans every surface that he touches. He makes sure there's no hair on his body. But yeah, how did they know where he lived?
I guess you could say, again, I'm devil's advocate, but like that plays into the voiceover stuff. This guy's like the worst hitman in maybe history. in terms of
Also,
following his own
This was
rules.
actually his first job.
Also, they send this cleanup crew, the guy he kills in Florida, and I'm assuming Tilda Swinton was a part of that. And they're
Yeah.
just going to leave their footprints leading up to the house? Like,
Yeah,
what
that
crew
was-
is this?
That's true. Maybe it was did he see two sets of footprints? I figured he saw like the big dude's
He
footprints.
saw the
Maybe-
footprints at the gate, and then I think he saw them when he got closer to his house.
Right. Tilda's probably like walking in, but also like brushing her footprints away, like
Just-
walking backwards slowly. It takes her 20 minutes to get in the house.
She's got a branch and she's like just covering them up.
Job's already done by the time she gets in there. Proto, next on your list.
I really enjoyed how slow and mundane a lot of this movie is, of just kind of seeing his day to day, him going out to McDonald's, getting his Sammy, no bread, no bun, him, cleaning up after himself, him even like preparing for the jobs, like going to like his storage unit and getting his equipment out of there, and not really sure of what his plan is going to be. Of like he dresses up as a trash man or a recycle guy, and he brings in the container. And just seeing all those scenes of like the setup that he has and then it play out. I like that. I kind of almost wish there was just like more of that. I wish there was like more kills in this movie, of just seeing him come up with a plan. It kind of feels like I'm watching like the game Hitman, where you have to like figure out a creative way to do a kill. And he even talks about that. I would have loved to see like more creative kills in this, rather than maybe even like the first 20 minutes of him botching the job of just like sitting around.
Yeah.
Because I really enjoyed those parts.
Yeah. Chaz just posted a photo of the Expendables. When are we doing the Expendables? Oh my God. Can you imagine us doing the Expendables movie as like a run of episodes?
God.
Proto might quit
1,000
the show.
patrons.
He might quit. Yeah, the Hitman stuff is right on. I did want, that kind of like leads into my second point, which is, he did this with Netflix, and I think he said this was like the best, studio he's ever worked with, or distribution partner or whatever. And I think I kind of alluded to this a little bit with Killers of the Flower Moon, that like Scorsese's just kind of get free reign, $200 some million, but it does feel great that some of these big name directors can kind of take a chance or make something like this and have it out there and not have to worry about like box office returns or whatever, because these streamers just want people to sign up for their service and watch their other stuff. So like they're almost getting these kind of like blank checks, and I don't think it'll last forever, but like these are like some of the blank check era movies that Fincher can just make this kind of slow plodding hitman movie with not a lot happening. And I don't know how often directors like this will be able to do that, really. So kind of still thankful, even though everyone's canceling Netflix, et cetera, including Danny.
I didn't cancel Netflix.
You didn't
yet.
cancel Netflix? What
Not
did you cancel?
yet.
You
Not
canceled
yet.
Disney.
Disney Plus. Once I finish Seinfeld, Netflix is out the door.
I wonder what the budget was for this. I
I looked on Wikipedia. I didn't see anything.
Like $20.
I'd guesstimate 20 million. 20 to 30 million budget.
It's a pretty cheap movie, right?
Can
Cheap
anyone
movie.
confirm? Does anyone have the details? Does Box Office Mojo have this information? Danny, next on your list.
I was going to say to that, I actually kind of hate watching a brand new Fincher at home. I don't want this. I want a theatrical release for movies. I don't enjoy the first time I watch a movie, especially one that's brand new, at home. Like, would I have liked this movie more in a theater? I don't know. But I don't want to see brand new Fincher in my house. Like, I want to see it in a theater. I want to be surrounded, even if it's by people even being allowed. It's just, I don't know. I don't want to watch brand new movies at home. It's not in me.
Right. You love the theater.
I do love the theater. I love being in the theater.
Wonder what?
So-
well, it did have like a limited release. I think.
Oh, it
right?
was like 2 weeks,
Like,
if that.
yeah, like New
but
York
even
and
like
LA.
limited location. I was so frustrated.
Mm-hmm. You know who did the score of this movie?
That was my next point.
Danny's
boy.
Boys, dynamic duo of
Trent and
Reznor
Atticus.
Ross.
I expected way more from them in this film, I think. And I don't, outside of the Smiths, I couldn't tell you what Trent and Atticus did in this film. I don't know. Did I miss something? It was so like maybe super under the radar and low key, but I thought you couldn't have told. I wouldn't even have guessed that Trent and Atticus did anything for this film. Everything was so in your face Smiths that I completely missed whatever score that they were trying to do, and it really bummed me out because it was a key point I was thinking about coming into this. Like, oh, we get a Trent and Atticus score in this at least, but
No, Logan in chat jokingly says it's about the notes they don't play in the score.
Logan, please.
Yeah, I had no idea that. Honestly, I didn't even know they did anything for this movie until someone jokingly said that they did the sound effects of the fight scene towards the end when he's fighting the dude in the house. Because that was like, the audio of that scene was awesome, I thought. Like the bass bumping when he's when they're fighting around that house, everything's getting destroyed. I thought that sounded great.
The old Florida house on stilts.
Oh my God. Disaster area. But yeah, I don't remember anything really about the music other than the Smiths.
Yeah. Kind of bummed me out.
Morrissey, reviled musician, back at the limelight of the worst hitman in history. Do you have any thoughts about the music outside of the Smiths, Proto? Did you notice anything?
No, not really. I mean, I don't think I didn't like it. But I mean, I'm not a musician.
Right.
This is fine.
We're at final point, Proto.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Ace Hardware?
Oh yeah. I love seeing Ace Hardware in this, you know?
I cannot believe I saw an Ace Hardware in 2023. The only Ace Hardwares I've seen around my area, I mean, they're like drug dens. They need to be shut down.
What?
Yeah, they're
No,
not
ours are
outta here.
fancy.
No, not by me. It's Home Depot country around me.
I mean,
Those places are like, it's like if you saw a Kmart, like an old Kmart still up and running, that's how I would envision
What?
Ace Hardware.
No,
No,
sir.
see so I thought Ace Hardware was like a local chain. I didn't realize Ace was like national because they feel local. Like you go in there,
local
they're going to
boy.
recognize you. Yeah, it's not like a box store, hardware store.
A lot of
Now,
comments in
they're
chat
not gonna
agreeing
have
with you.
Okay, thank you. I was going to tell them to shut up, but thank you for agreeing with me.
No, they're all saying they love Ace Hardware. So
Yeah. I mean, they don't have a lumber department. You're not going to get your lumber there. You're not going to get your toilet. But if you need some paint, you need, weed whacker string, you need Christmas lights. It's all there, baby.
Yeah.
And they got people. It's the helpful place. They're going to help
Live
you
chickens,
it looks like a Michael's.
jerky.
It looks like you ever walk into a Michael's, that place
Love
is haphazard.
Michael's.
It's a guessing game anytime you need to find something at a Michael's.
What is wrong with Philly? Lord have mercy.
I mean, maybe these places are fine. I just don't like going into them. I don't know. But we're Home Depot country. Sorry to distract you from your
It's
final
okay.
point, bro.
Oh, yeah. What was I even going to say? So we haven't really talked about either of the assassins or the final scene, but I kind of want to talk about the final scene with him confronting who the client was. I don't for the life of me understand why he let this guy go.
Mm-hmm.
Like he kills every single person he interacts with. It's like without a doubt, even the kid in the taxi driver,
Right.
which I was like shocked.
Right.
Like he's killing this kid, but he's not going to kill
The millionaire.
this millionaire, maybe
Billionaire.
billionaire who's putting out a contract to kill somebody. And he's looking at him in the face, and then he's just going to walk out of his house. Did I miss something?
I mean,
No.
you should have killed him for that beanie alone.
Oh my God.
Yeah, the
Get
beanie.
that-
It's like a Joey Pants beanie.
Like throw him out the window because of that beanie.
Smack it off his head.
Jeez.
I mean, I didn't understand too. And again, devil's advocate, it's because he didn't do everything he said he was going to do. That's the joke. But like this billionaire is going to tell him, I actually didn't know that tying up loose ends was going to mean killing you. And then that was the thing that got him. Oh, okay. All right. All's fair. You have a good night. I'm going to go back to my awfully not hidden safe house and celebrate with my wife or my girlfriend as she recovers from being assaulted with knives. This is all good.
I mean, he made sure to kill Dolores in a way that when her children found her, that it looked like an accident, but he lets the billionaire live.
Yeah, the Dolores kill, I mean, come off it. You couldn't have come up with another scheme. Like, is she she's not gonna blab about her business of hiring hitmen.
He should have swapped the speeches. Tell her, I know where to find you if you run your mouth, and I can come back and kill you any chance I get, and then go kill the billionaire.
Kill that goober.
What a goober.
Yeah. Goob town.
Man, I got excited too when I saw a high up in the building they were at. I was like, oh, he's going through the window. He's hitting the pavement. Like, this is going to be a good kill.
I mean, the whole ending too, I just thought was kind of weird, or maybe like I just not expected. You know, he doesn't kill the guy who originally was the contract, and then he's like relaxing with his girl.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
and then he twitches because he can't ever relax.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe the point is, if he killed him, then he was going to get hunted down and killed too. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, it was kind of a letdown, I think, of an ending. It's just weird.
Mm-hmm. My final point. I mean, the best scene of the movie, maybe people would expect me to say Tilda Swinton, but was the fight scene in that house with that dude. Oh my God, him walking around, he like thinks the dude is in the shower, like gonna get in the shower or in the bathroom, and then he appears behind him. That was the best scene of the movie by far, I thought. It was vicious. The guy like lands on a table leg in his back.
Yeah.
Fireplace poker.
It definitely felt like, there was some stakes. Like, Michael Fassbender might get murdered here. This could be the end. Like, he
should have been murdered, honestly.
It felt brutal. But it's also strange that like this is the guy that got hired. I don't know, like him and Tilda Swinton next to each other must have been an absolute sight in this taxi. Like, what an odd couple.
So true.
That was another thing that was just like cracked me up. Like, wait, Tilda was partnered with this guy? But yeah, I love that scene. The audio in that scene is nuts. That was another beautiful piece of the movie, was the sounds of that fight. It sounded great.
Yeah, I love that fight scene. Although I did find it kind of unbelievable. Like, he gets punched square in the jaw by that guy twice. Mm-hmm. He's dead in that moment.
Yeah.
That guy, he's got to weigh like 220 pounds soaking wet. When he does a body slam on top of him, I'm sorry, Michael Fassbender's entire rib cage is crushed. He's dead.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it looked great. I mean, yeah, it probably is the best scene of the movie. And I mean, I sat up in my chair just that moment. And then when he pulls out the cheese grater.
Oh,
I mean, any of us take a punch from that dude, we're probably in a coma for the rest of our lives. Like, there's no getting out of it.
I'm starting my second life after that punch.
It's over. Danny, final point.
I mean, you brought that. I mean, let's talk about the Tilda moment.
Tilda.
I forgot she was in this film until she popped up.
Same.
I was let down a bit for Tilda. It almost felt a bit phoned in by her, but maybe because it just felt like her standard look. I don't know. It just didn't feel like she was an assassin at any point of the way. But I don't know. I think my favorite part of her scene is when she's being led to be killed, and she goes to double cross him, and he catches her. And you see they show the knife in her hand. I thought that was a fun. It did feel predictable. Like, she lunges at him and he shoots. He catches her before she can do anything, which I feel like a lot of the big brutal fight with the Florida guy felt like on the nose, like everything we've seen. The gun gets kicked under the table. He gets thrown through the glass coffee table. Like we've seen this 1,000 times in a living room fight. But I liked the unexpectedness of Tilda's death. I was just waiting for him to kind of like pop her and fall into the river.
Right.
But I like that he caught her trying to double cross him.
I liked how you get the insight into how like the hit people lived. Like she lived a very public life.
Oh, yeah.
Like he was kind of hanging out in the suburbs waiting for her to come home. You know, there's nothing hidden about how she lives her life. And she's like, you know, number one customer of this restaurant. You know, she's getting treated like a queen by that
Hanging
dude.
with the normies.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Holding it over everyone.
That whiskey flight, though.
Mm.
You know, people aren't going to like this, but enough with Tilda Swinton.
Oh, no.
Please, God.
Oh, my God.
It's like, hey, can we wheel out Tilda for this scene? It's like they got her on a...
know a weirdo? Tilda?
Oh yeah, we got her in the truck. Let's wheel her in. We can get a Tilda Swinton scene out of her. It's like enough with this. God, it just I didn't care for that, and it's not her fault. I mean she's great at what she does, but it's like it's a caricature at this point with her. And I just get that out of my face. That whole scene.
Hillary in chat hovering over sub cancellation right now. Tilda got so popular among like cinephilia, but like the roles that she takes are just kind of like the Tilda weird role. And I don't know, I avoid a lot of those roles, but I definitely get Proto's point. I'm like, oh, here's, you know, Tilda in a very Tilda role.
She's got her look. She just came from a Row fashion show with the Olsen twins. I mean, what in the world?
Scandalous take from Proto. I don't have any more final points. Let me go through my honorable mentions to see if there's anything. Let's see. We haven't really talked about when he goes to see his boss or the guy that's setting up these kills and he shoots the nail gun through his chest. Also, how about he shoots the nail through his laptops? Like, was there no nerd on set that was like, actually, you might still be able to get the data from that laptop, Finch. That's not actually going to destroy the data. That one was a little unbelievable. But I did like that character. I liked how that guy worked in, you know, like essentially almost looked like a law firm. But otherwise, he's setting up these like horrible jobs. I also additionally thought he probably should have had a little bit more security in that office, potentially.
Besides an 8-second closing door.
It also looked like he was using a Chromebook to set up these hits. Not the height of security in anyone's role in this whole operation.
Every real assassin watching this movie just like screaming at the TV the whole time.
Yes.
Maybe this is a comedy to them.
Yeah, I guess the comedy aspects are starting to show for us. Lindsay in chat, Dolores is also not top tier security. Yeah. she's not stopping anyone at the door. She shouldn't be getting there. Danny, final point?
I mean, we've covered everything.
Get it out. Just let it all out.
Oh. You know, I did like the moment when Dolores laughs in the elevator. And the guy was like,
yes.
You need any help with the body in there? That was
amazing.
Funny. That was a really
so
funny bit. I don't think there's ever been a time in Letterboxd history that I have seen where not everyone, where the majority of reviews I read were all making a Smiths joke. Like I think so many Smiths jokes were being made, and they were all on the lines of, well, I would be an assassin too if I had to listen to the Smiths every day. Like I read that like 40 times on Letterboxd. It was unreal.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that means. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I have no idea.
I'm at 2 stars for this film.
Oh,
I didn't like it. I was bored. I honestly think I fell asleep at one point, but I can't remember if I did.
Okay.
It's probably my least favorite Fincher that I've ever seen. And it's just not for me. I don't know.
And that's okay.
Maybe if I saw it in a theater, but I don't even want to say that. I didn't like the story. Didn't like the story. I didn't like the voiceover. I thought Fassbender was doing the best he could.
What if Joel Kinnaman was the
No, I don't even think.
boy.
I don't think it's the actor's fault. I don't think it's the actor's fault. This story was okay.
Matt and Chad asking, did you at least like the poster for the killer?
I think I'm very happy that someone did something besides a Photoshop job for a poster for once.
Yeah.
I think the artwork was beautiful. There's like 4 different paintings I think I saw for these posters.
Yeah, they're all
gorgeous.
the same style. The one him on the bike was cool too.
Yeah. No, it's gorgeous. I just didn't enjoy this story, and that's really just it for me. The story was just kind of flat.
James Patterson, the artist. Pro?
Honorable mentions. I love the bit with the RFID copier that he has. I had no idea like what his plan was. And also like the fact that there's almost like a 10-minute setup of him going around to be able to get into this guy's penthouse. You know, he like follows him to the gym. And I kind of love that gym scene. Like this guy belongs to a gym that's probably like $1,000 a month to go jog on a treadmill for like a mile.
Right. Security
With his
guard
beanie
working
on.
out behind him.
But I kind of love that like this was like the gadget of the movie. It's just like this copier and the way he orders it on Amazon. And that's kind of like the tech that was used in the movie. Michael Fassbender resetting his atlas bone in his neck.
Come on, you can't do that. That's
that would
dangerous.
change my life. If I could do that, I would.
It's exactly what we did to Dolores.
That's true.
Gotta be careful.
Well, he helped out that family immensely. You know, with like an accident, they're going to collect life insurance. They're set, those kids.
After they get through the years of therapy of discovering their mother with a broken neck at the bottom of the steps, yeah, they're going to be set.
Also, that secretary, her filing system.
Oh my God.
I love seeing that Rolodex.
Yeah.
How she organized that. That was cool. His gray outfit. I love
Which
that
one?
look.
His
The
McDonald's
one-
outfit.
In Paris at the beginning.
Yes, with the bucket hat.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
look great.
Looked great. I've really liked a lot of the lighting in this. I thought the movie looked great for the most part. It actually reminded me, I think I watched a documentary, I want to say about Kurosawa, where someone was saying how Kurosawa always makes sure that there's movement in every single scene that he has. And I felt like I was seeing that in this with Fincher, of just either he was moving the camera or something in the background was moving, and he just makes sure to have motion in all the scenes to create like this fluidity throughout of it, which I really appreciated. I think there was like that when he goes to his hideout. I mean, that house was amazing, but it has like, you know, it's like basically no walls, but just like these amazing long curtains that just like flow into the room.
It's funny you mentioned that. When I was listening to the Friedkin Exorcist director's commentary, he referenced a movie that he saw, or a director, that name escapes me, but the way that he shot The Exorcist, he never redid a camera angle in a conversation. Like it was always everyone in the frame, or it was a different shot at a certain point in the conversation. Like there was never a behind them, and it would just rotate back. I wish I remember the director's name, but I thought that was an amazing kind of observation that I would have never otherwise noticed while watching a movie.
A lot of great interactions with trash cans.
Oh my God. Yeah, I did love every scene where he's like getting rid of evidence.
Yeah. I would say I had a good time with this movie. Yeah, I don't think it's not anything to write home about, but I enjoyed it. You know, the narration didn't bother me. The slowness didn't bother me. I think there could have been a lot more that it could have done better, but I'm at 3 stars.
3 stars. I think we covered everything but the hard-boiled eggs. Snacking on them hard-boiled eggs.
Yeah.
Where's the Wawa ad placement on that? Love a good hard-boiled egg. There was a lot of hard-boiled egg talk in our Discord today.
There was.
Pardo was producing some images somehow. I thought this was okay. I'm at 3 stars. I was also kind of getting bored. I don't know. the narration stuff, you know, all the folks talking about how it's like his best comedy. I don't know. It just didn't work for me that much. And I don't love Fassbender. He's fine. I probably would have liked maybe someone else that maybe could have delivered a little bit of emotion and maybe kind of made me feel some of the comedy aspects of it. But so 3 stars for The Killer for me. Glad I watched it. Great posters. All right. We have some VMs to get to.
Oh, gosh.
Art's not done yet, Kirby.
Sorry, tomorrow.
Art's going to be a late dish. It's been a busy week.
Busy week.
Let's hear from our local Freemason expert, Jonesy, co-host of the Twin Vipers podcast.
70mm JLB with a follow-up voicemail. I know it's never been done before, but here I go anyway. Just listened to another fantastic episode about Priscilla. Now I can't wait to see the movie. Some facts that you can't check on ChatGPT because they're about my life. Sorry, Trout. Is that every Sunday when I was a boy, my father would make a huge Southern-style breakfast.
Yes.
And we would listen to Elvis and Friends every Sunday morning on 98.1 WOGL in the Philadelphia area. And I would help him cook. We'd set the table and listen to many Elvis tunes. And God, does it get any better when he sings Always on My Mind? I challenge you that it does not. Great review of Priscilla. Very excited to see it. It totally skipped my radar. Thank God you guys covered it. Didn't see that Austin Butler Elvis either because of the Slimfluence. But maybe I'll check that out as well. Thanks for covering the movie so I don't have to watch them. It's a pleasure as always. Love you all. JLB out.
JLB out.
Love you, Jonesy.
Love you, Jonesy.
No Freemason talk on that one. I guess we only get once a month, the Freemasons. Freemasons actually were in the news this week. Catholic Church is like forbidding any Catholics from joining the Freemasons. Anybody heard about
that? What if
this?
you're already a Catholic Freemason?
That's a great question. I think it means you're going to hell, probably.
Oh, gosh.
Can't get grandfathered in?
No. I read this Reuters.
I want to be a Freemason. Can I get someone to write in and tell me how?
That's a topic for probably offline discussion. We don't want to, let anyone in.
You're now on the hit list.
I want a hit list?
Yeah, Fassbender's going to come after you and going to blow it.
He retired, remember?
Thomas in chat. My great-grandpa was 33rd degree master mason. I don't even know what the Masons do. What does a Mason do? That's why people want to get in. They think it's like a secret organization.
Oh, yeah, babe. I watched National Treasure.
But why would the Catholic Church be against Masons? No one knows. No one knows the answer to that. They're too afraid to answer it.
Only the Masons know.
Are these the same Masons that spanked Leo in Killers of the Flower Moon?
Yeah.
They are the same Masons. So maybe the Catholic Church is against the... I don't know.
Flower Moon. They saw the Flower Moon.
Maybe.
Oh, you don't finish it?
No, I caught myself mid-thought. We have another VM from Chev. Let's get into it.
What's up, 70mm? It's your friend Chev from Canada.
Oh.
The Killer.
Yes.
Had a really good time with this one this week. It's a 4 stars for me.
Whoa.
And it was especially great because I got to watch it with my younger brother over FaceTime.
What?
He's currently studying abroad in Europe, so several time zones in the Atlantic Ocean serve as quite the barrier to watching films together. But we managed to carve out some time in the schedule this week and figured it out. And we had a grand old time laughing along to this one, muttering to each other, "He's literally me, bro," every 15 seconds. And just bopping along to those Smith's needle drops. Really good stuff. How about the power of cinema bringing friends and family together closer, across borders, across time zones, across freaking oceans? Can I get an amen in chat? Thank you. Thank you, guys. Keep up the great work. Enjoy your vacation. We'll talk soon.
Oh, that's
Peace.
right. Yeah. Going on vacation. Can I get an amen in chat, Chev? Chev's 2 for 2 for voicemails. Chev, I don't want to put any pressure on you. You can have a bad voicemail in the future. Everyone's due for one.
Stop trying so hard.
Don't try to have great ones. It's not possible. You can't keep the streak alive.
Not even Ted Williams bat 1,000.
No. Ted Williams.
Old Ted.
Do we want to say the December plans yet on this show? Or do I want to save it for
I think wasn't there a...
I did make a post that was just for patrons. We'll tease it out.
Was there an email?
There was an email for patrons.
The emails for patrons. Okay.
If you want the
Emails for
news
patrons.
early, subscribe.
We
to
gave
our
them
Patreon.
early. Gave the news early for patrons on what our plans are for December. So stay tuned, folks. All right. So next week,
It's a big
Bobby,
This is a big one.
Marty, boxing,
They're back.
America's favorite pastime, Raging
America's
Bull.
Sweethearts.
America's Sweethearts. I have never seen this movie. I don't own the 4K yet. I'm the only one on the show that doesn't own the physical 4K from Criterion. I got to get on it.
Wake up.
I got to wake up. Got a lot of Blu-rays I got to get my hands on. You know?
It's a first time watch for all of us, baby.
This is going to be a lot of fun. Pardo, any closing thoughts before Raging Bull, November next week?
Closing thoughts. You know, one line I liked from this movie, he says it a couple times. You know, the only life path, the one behind you. He's kind of pointing out, I guess, you know, as an assassin, he doesn't believe in fate, destiny, and the only thing you know is what's behind you. And what's forward is what you make of it.
Okay.
So that's something we can take from this movie, I think, even if some of us give it 2 stars.
Amen. Amen to that.
Can I get an amen in chat?
$70mm is a tape deck production featuring original artwork provided by Danny Haas. Spiritual guidance and V'ger, the robot who loves movies, provided by Pertalexis. Producer at large Dale_A. And music composed by Cinematrix. Prints and other merch are available on 70mmpod.com. This episode was mixed, edited, and produced by me, Slim. Support our Patreon for access to our VHS Village Discord to talk movies with new friends, access to our exclusive episodes in the 70mm vault, discounts on merch, uncut episodes, and a physical membership card mailed to you. To check out other Tape Deck podcasts, find the link in the episode notes. And if you'd like to support our friends at Letterboxd and upgrade to pro or patron status, you can do so with a 20% off discount using the links on 70mmpod.com. Goodbye.
This is a Tape Deck podcast.